Welcome to Finding Your Way with Lori and Tonya. I'm Lori.
I'm Tonya.
So today we're going to talk about detaching from the how. And so this is a lesson that I have had to learn because I was so attached to how blessings were going to come to me. Tonya and I do quite a bit of work, and we laugh about it, that we manifest things. We manifest things into our lives. And I think I was getting tripped up a little bit because I was so attached to exactly what it looked like that I was blocking my manifestations in some ways. And so an example for me, at work in the past, I was really at my wit's end, just ready to be done, because I had a supervisory situation that really just made it uncomfortable to go to work sometimes and just didn't feel like you could get things done. The answer was always no, that kind of thing. And I had a friend at the time that was going through something similar. And so we were talking about it, and hers was the same thing. It was, feeling very much bad all day because you go to this atmosphere, and her supervisor and her circumstance was just not a team player and not a very good leader and that kind of thing. And so we were talking about it and touched base, and both of our prayers got answered. We were ready to leave. We were ready to quit. We were ready to be done. And was like praying separately of something's got to change, whether it's me leaving or the situation changes, something's got to change. And my situation changed by a complete reorganization. And so I came in one day and it was like, okay, you're going to report to this person now. And I was like, oh, never in my wildest dreams did I think that could be a solution. And for her, she came in one day and unexpectedly her supervisor left, which completely changed the atmosphere. So we both got what we wanted. It wasn't that we wanted to leave. It wasn't that. It was that we wanted to go and feel productive and feel supported at work and feel like we were not wasting our time. And we both ended up getting that in such different ways. And had we prescribed how that happened, the outcome probably wouldn't even been as good as it was for either one of us.
And I think that, that's one of the things that has been a little bit of a tough lesson to learn is letting go of the how. Ask for what you want. And y'all hear me talk about this all the time, but I journal constantly. Sometimes Lord calls it my magic journal because I can write things in there. My magic journal, so I can write things in there. And I can manifest them and I can make them happen. But I think I've gotten better about it. Just like Lori said, there were so many things I was blocking because I wanted to tell God or the universe how I wanted to receive it, right? So here's what I wanted, and this is how I want you to give it to me. And that's not how it works. And for me, I work a mostly all commission job. And so, I remember there being a time around the holidays where I thought, okay, I need to close some deals. I need money. I need to be able to, do Christmas for the boys. And so, there was me going, okay, if this and this, I had 3 jobs I'm working on. If this one close, then I'll make this much money and then my check will be this, and then I can buy these things. And so I literally was putting a stipulation. And I think I kind of backed off and said, you know what? I am just happy and grateful that I have the money I need to take care of the boys for Christmas, and left it and started writing it that way. And all of a sudden I had a job come in out of the blue, new client, never done business with before. It was a larger pay-in position. And so the fee was going to be more. And I ended up closing it in weeks instead of months, which is, the way I do business in our industry is a little bit unheard of. So it closed quickly. I got paid on it quickly. The check was before the holidays, and it was more than if I'd closed all 3 of those at the same time. So, I had to release how I'm getting it. In my mind, I had it all worked out. This is how it should be. And then I had to remember that that's not how it works. And so I just released it and just was grateful up front that I was going to have it however it needed to be. And it came. And so I think that it was a good lesson for me to remember, even though we've been doing the work, sometimes you forget. We're all, I'm a control freak. I like to know I'm controlling the outcome. And sometimes you just have to relinquish that control and know that God knows best, or the universe, or whatever you call the higher power. And that's where you really start seeing those blessings.
Yes, it's just a basic concept of faith that it's all going to work out for the best good of everybody.
Right.
And that I think was the turning point for me, was because it is hard to let go when you're used to trying to hang on so tight and control everything. But what you're doing when you're in that space, in that mindset, is you are putting out those emotions of anxiety and fear and uncertainty. And it's very difficult for blessings to come to you when you're in that state. And so by having faith and letting it go and allowing versus being in control and making it happen, it just comes to you much more easily. I know I had a situation when I was in my 20s and didn't make any money and was broke at the time. And I remember praying for, I needed money for rent, for all these things. And I went to my checking account one day and there was $2,000 that I had not put in there. And it had been in an out-of-state bank. Somebody had deposited $2,000. And so, of course, I thought it was somebody in my family. So I'm calling everybody, did you do this? Because they knew I was having a hard time. And I thought, well, somebody's done this to bless me. They've given me a gift and didn't want me to know about it. And so I'm calling everybody, hey, did you put money in my account? No, Lori, don't know what you're talking about. And so I called the bank and I'm like, I think this is a mistake. I did not make this deposit. I don't know where it came from. And so she pulled up the deposit slip from that day. She was like, no, ma'am, it's got your account number and your name on it, but that's all it says. So it's your money. And so I didn't spend that money for a year because I thought, oh, surely they're going to catch their mistake. There's no way this could be mine. But I think it's one of those circumstances looking back where I had just gotten to the point where I just was praying. I was praying for an answer and not being so tied to how it got delivered to me. Right. And it just showed up. And I don't know why. I'll never know where that came from or how that happened, but I don't need to know. We don't need to know how it gets to you. That's not our worry.
That's right. That's not our responsibility to worry about the how.
Is to ask for what we want in a way that allows it to come in multiple ways, and then have faith that it's coming.
Right. And we talk about this. So one of our favorite country music singers is Garth Brooks, and he's got that song, which has always been a favorite of mine, called Unanswered Prayers. And it's interesting because he sings about the high school girlfriend and how he was thanking God now that he had prayed so hard to have that love of his life, and he wanted that soulmate in his love of his life, and he thought that was her. And now he's married to the love of his life, his soulmate, his partner, and he's basically saying, I thank God for unanswered prayers, because he was praying for the soulmate, but putting a stipulation on who that was. And in the end, he got what he was looking for, but thank goodness it wasn't because of the stipulations and the way he was asking to receive it, right? So he was out of the control, but he got in the end, really what he was after. He was just trying to control the who and the how.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's not even a tangible thing. It's that we need to think about why we want what we want, and to get clear on what we're wanting to draw in, what feeling we're looking for. So the examples we've given, thinking about the security of more money, the love of a soulmate. If we can focus on that and what feeling we're trying to bring to us, and then just allow God, the universe, to exceed your expectations in bringing that to you. And it's difficult when you haven't been living that way, because you and I struggle with it even to this day. But it's so much fun when you're able to get to a point where you have the faith that if you allow it, you're going to be blessed upon blessed upon blessed, more than your desires.
And it happens every day. Like every day I'm like, wow, like I asked for that, and that is not how I expected to get it, but I am so grateful. And a lot of times it really is bigger than what I ever even imagined it could be, or asked for, or it comes in a way that I just could never have guessed. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and the other part of it is when we have such a picture in our mind of exactly how it should be coming to us, we might miss some blessings that do come our way. So the old church joke about the man at his house when it started flooding, and they sent the truck, and a truck of people said, hey man, come go with us, we'll get you to safety. No, I prayed to God, I'll be all right. And then the water rose a little bit more, and here comes a boat with some people trying to rescue him. And he was like, no, I prayed to God, I'll be okay. And so the water kept rising, he's on his roof, and a helicopter comes, and he's like, no, I prayed to God, I'll be okay. And he drowned, and he goes to heaven, and he's having a conversation with God, and he says, God, I prayed to you, why didn't you save me? And God said, well, I sent you a truck, a boat, and a helicopter. What more did you want me to do? So I think that's a good example of how maybe sometimes if we've got such a specific thing in our mind of how it's going to come to us, that we completely miss all the good things that are coming and the opportunities that are right in front of us.
And we're not even grabbing them. We're just letting them pass because they aren't what we wanted or thought we wanted or expected them to come in that way. And so many times we're missing just such good things because we're not seeing, we're too held to how we thought we should get it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's sort of a good thing to just stay in that practice of gratitude every day, which keeps you open to all opportunities. And so,
do it with feeling.
Yeah. And so the takeaways are, try to call in the feeling you're looking for, to let it go, have faith that's coming to you, and then to just stay in that mindset of gratitude so that when opportunities do come, you can actually see them and experience them and maybe take advantage of them.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So we hope that this has been helpful. We are here if you have any questions. We'd love for you, if you thought this was helpful and you know somebody who could utilize this information, please share, like, subscribe. We'd love to get this information out to as many people as we can. We've got a great Facebook group called the Positive Vibe Tribe. We love our group. Join us there. It's positivity and great nuggets every day. We've got highernavigation.com. It's HIGHER. navigation.com is our website. And we also, if we can answer any questions, you want to send us an email. Our email address is highernavigation@gmail.com. And we're happy to answer any specific questions and anything that you want to pick our brain about, we're here. So we hope this has helped, and please share.